Only 2 adult dungeons remain before we can take on the King of Evil and set Hyrule right. So here we are back on the island of Lake Hylia, where we ended the last episode. And I forgot to point out that there's this mysterious tree, mysterious claw mark in this tree, which has always stood out just as a neat little mystery. You know, it kind of piques your interest on what kind of beast would have claws big enough to do that. Let's look for someone who might know something about the other sages. Cool, yeah, so this episode we've got a little bit of housekeeping, some extra collectibles, some sculptures, some pieces of heart to do, as well as a cool item that we'll get in a second here on this island. Let's put on our green tunic actually, yeah, because it's the we've done the 2 elemental dungeons that require the different tunics, obviously the Fire and Water Temple. So let's go back to traditional green Link. But yeah, with the long shot, we can now reach the higher branches of this tree, which is quite cool, where Sheik dived from at the end of last episode. And we can grab this gold sculpture up here, which is number 75. Brilliant. But yeah, there's another cool secret we can do. A secret thing we can do here, which is, when water fills the lake, shoot for the morning light. So there's a cool little riddle there. So by switching it to morning, by playing the sun song for the morning light, we can do what the riddle says, and we'll get a really cool item from doing this. Okay, right, I was wondering why I wasn't turning morning. Yeah, if we shoot at the sun, our arrows become wreathed in flame. The fire arrows fall to this little island here, between these 2 pillars. Which is, yeah, an awesome way to get an upgraded arrow like that. I've always wondered who wrote that pedestal, like who wrote that riddle, who built these pillars. The easiest option, you know, the easiest one to believe is the Zora, but I don't know if that makes too much sense with fire arrows. You see there on the 2 pillars there's the mark of the sun above an arrow, which is cool. And yeah, we can now select the fire arrows from our inventory, which does this, which is so cool. Is there anything I can snipe? I could go for the long range snipe over there on that Gwei. That's not going to work. Right. But yeah, cool item. Really cool way to get it. But what is less cool, something I really don't like, if the previous time I did this as a child was enough to clue you in, I'm not a big fan of Ocarina of Time's fishing minigame. I know some people love it, so I don't want to annoy people if you are an Ocarina of Time fishing lover. But it's never something I've enjoyed. It's always a part of the game that I really dread coming back to for 100%. But let's get it done. Let's head back into the fishing hole. And if you remember last time I was here, I pointed out that the fishing hole man had a full head of hair, but now he wears a hat, which is actually important. Hey mister, I remember you. It's been a long time. How many years has it been? 7 years. What have you been doing all this time? You're my only customer. I'm almost out of business. On top of that, my hair. I mean, never mind. Yeah, so something has happened to his luscious locks in these 7 years. And not only that, he's somehow managed to keep paying the rent or whatever for the fishing hole, despite the fact that Link is his only customer and hasn't been here in 7 years, which is pretty funny. But when he gives us the fishing rod, now he wears this hat. There's a cool secret we can do. So he says something about his hair in his dialogue, and if we can line up the fishing rod to land on his head, you got to get this just right. We can see something pretty funny. Maybe I'll throw a cut if this takes me a little while. Yeah, okay, I'll cut. Ah! What? What are you doing to me? We can fishing rod his hat off his head, which is very funny. So now we got his fisherman's hat attached to our rod, and it reveals that, yeah, the fishing hole man has gone bald in these 7 years, and he covers it up. What if you speak to him? Oh, hey, what are you doing? I told you not to do that. You're terrible. Seriously. Give me back my hat. What if you say no way? Okay, nothing. Alright, same dialogue. But yeah, that's such a funny little secret. You're a kind-hearted kid. Don't tell anyone about this, seriously. Which, yeah, is so great. But yeah, what isn't great is the fishing itself. So, we need to beat our previous record. So our fish from 7 years ago, given given that we're apparently the only customer, is in the tank by the fishing hole man. And we need to beat that by, I believe it's £4, to get an important upgrade that lets us get a piece of heart. So, the way this works, the way to do it, is the biggest fish always spawns right here by this log that I've stood on. This fish, I believe, is always above £20 as adult Link. This behemoth below the water here. I feel bites. Which... No, it's not interested. Okay, so we can just rinse and repeat until finally he bites. Yeah, so being that this one's £20, this will definitely be over 4 more than the previous fish. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Like I said, this isn't an element of the game that I'm very knowledgeable about. I always dread doing this and just kind of get it done as part of a completion's sake. Are you gonna bite? Okay. I'll probably be cutting through this as well, because if I don't enjoy doing it, you won't enjoy watching it, so... Ah! Okay. And the combat music begins, because we're wrestling with this giant fish. So these ones are really difficult to pull in. Obviously this is way bigger than the one we pulled in as Child Link. So this is a proper wrestling match. So I think the way to do it is you pull down, obviously hold A and pull down, and then when it moves left and right, you want to pull... I'm not sure whether it's with it or against it. I've kind of heard different things from different guides on this. I think against its direction makes the most sense. So you kind of, if it moves right, you pull left and down. And just hope that you manage to pull it in, because there seems to be some sort of invisible timer where if you wrestle with the fish for too long, it will escape the lure. It will kind of let go, and it will go back in the water. And then obviously when it's back in the water, it will be disturbed and it will swim to the deep part, meaning you have to reset the minigame. You have to go out and come back in to get it to come back to the spot near the log. This isn't going too well. Come on! No! Hey, what happened? You lost it. Yeah, okay, so I guess that was the timer. So, we go again. Okay, right, we're back to it. This probably bodes well that the camera is zoomed out. We can see Link, we can see the fishing rod looking like it's about to snap here. But... yeah, so I assume that means the fish is closer to us, because I know it zooms out when we're in the last seconds of the battle here. So hopefully this means it'll go well. Although this one, there's got to be tricks that I'm just not aware of. I know, again, if you're a fisher, an Ocarina of Time fisherman, this will probably be like nails on a chalkboard watching me do this, because I don't enjoy it and I'm not good at it. So there's probably tricks to speed this up and improve it. I think whenever I come back to this and do this, it's just luck for me, whether this takes 5 minutes or whether I'm here for like 3 hours trying to get the big fish. Yeah. But this isn't going too well. I don't feel like I've made much progress, despite how long this battle's been going on. So he's just, yeah, he's in his element, just thrashing around over there. I don't feel like he's coming down towards me at all. So I know you got to hold down, and then there's something with the direction. And I've kind of done both here. Well, okay, that hasn't worked. What? Okay, right, a fish this big can't even fit on the screen, £20. I'm not going to complain. The game must have just pitied me by that point, because I didn't even have to do a battle for that. I don't know what happened there, but, you know, I've cut out so much of this. I've been here for well over an hour doing this. Weigh my fish. Whoa, this fish is huge. It looks like a new record. It weighs at least 20 pounds. Here's your prize. And we get the golden scale. So it's just an upgrade of the silver scale we had as Child Link. But man, yeah, I cut out a lot of that, and I'm so happy that that final thing didn't even do a battle. So I'm so happy. So it's done. There was actually one more thing I wanted to show, or technically two things I wanted to show here, which is found... so the first is the sinking lure. So we've been using the regular lure here. You might actually have to reset. But we've been using the regular lure. But once you catch the big fish and get the upgrade, so the golden scale here or the heart piece as Child Link, I'm going to leave and rejoin, just in case we did have to... Okay, yeah. Just in case we did have to reset. But once you get the upgrade, something called the sinking lure spawns in the fishing pond. And it's got... I believe there's 4 locations it can spawn. So there's where I was checking, over by that... little crack in the wall where the stream's kind of feeding water into the fishing pond. There's a couple others. There's one kind of round the edge of the pond. There's one on the log that I was fishing on. And you don't know where it is. It's kind of random where it spawns until we go up to it. And then you get a little dialogue box saying you've found it. So the way this works, the sinking lure, is just that it's a much better fishing rod, basically. Or much better lure in the end of your fishing rod. Makes it a whole lot easier to catch fish. So there's another one somewhere over here. Or maybe I just misspaced it over here. Ah! Wow! Is this what I think it is? Astonishing! You snagged a sinking lure. What do you want to do with it? Use it now or get rid of it? So yeah, we've got this weird, wiggly line of bubbles. I don't know what this is meant to be. I can't remember what this looks like on the 3DS version. That would be a clearer image. But yeah, this makes our rod so much better. But it only spawns again after you've done the original fish. So you do still have to do the fishing game normally. And yeah, fish just seem to bite this much quicker, much easier. And of course it sinks to the deep end where the fish go when they're scared. So this makes the whole minigame a lot easier. But I'll pull this one in and show it off. If I go and speak to the fishing hold man, he will complain, or he'll say that we weren't allowed to use this lure. It's against the rules to fish using this. Even with this lure... Okay, there you go. But even with this sinking lure and the fact that this is only £5, I was still struggling to pull it in. I guess... You've either got it or you don't with fishing, and I don't have it. I'm not a fishing connoisseur. So if we take it into this guy, weigh my fish when it weighs £5, but then... Oh, maybe you have to break the record with it? I'm not sure. But either way, the other thing I wanted to show off is something called the Hyrule Loach, which is a weird fish. I need to do this. It's a weird fish, and I'm going to throw a cut in here, because it's difficult to spawn. Okay, so I'm back, and what I've done there is I've left and re-entered the fishing pond 4 times. So it will spawn the 4th time you enter. So I had to make sure it was going to spawn. Okay, that was good. The first spot I looked for the sinking lure, it was there. So basically how it works is... But I'm going to go speak to the guy, because I think he does have some extra dialogue the first time you have the... If I speak to him with the thing, yeah, what? Do you want to fish with a different lure? Hey, what's that? What? You just picked it up? Usually the rules say you can't use one of those. I mean, usually, but what the heck? Okay, well there you go. So he's got some extra dialogue, but apparently not with my fish. But yeah, so I had to go and check that he would spawn, and then you have to leave and re-enter, but pay every time you do, and on the 4th time, so when you spend 80 rupees, the Hyrule Loach will spawn, which is a kind of weird, different type of fish. He spawns somewhere over by these lily pads. He doesn't count for the fishing contest, so even though he would have spawned even before I caught the £20 fish, he wouldn't count for that. Because the fisherman, we'll see later, won't put him in the in the tank. He spawns somewhere. Maybe I've already spooked him. Maybe he's ended up in the middle. It's very easy to see which one this is because he's kind of more like an eel than a fish. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go to the side. I'm gonna throw the rod in, because then you get a better look. It's very obvious when he is here, but then he's got all sorts of weird mechanics. So he sinks down to the bottom of the deep end, which we'll see in a second. Is he here? I don't see him. No, I don't want you. See, the sinking lure is just so good that I'm catching fish even when I don't want to. Is that him on the right? I think he might be here. He must be here because I checked, and then it's been 4 times since. This is the 4th time I've left and re-entered. So the Loach will be in here somewhere. If I can start, I said right at the start of this playthrough I need to change the Z targeting, and I just haven't. I've just been happy enough doing it this way, but it gets very annoying in the fishing pond. Ah, okay, right. A final cut later, and he is here. You see this kind of eel-like thing. I'm going to try and get a little bit closer with the lure. Because yeah, when he goes to the deep end, he just kind of lurks at the bottom. It's a little bit ominous, and he just kind of stays very still there. And then, every 75 seconds, he'll surface for air. Which, well, it looks like it's for air, at least. Or at least he just comes up to the top. But, I mean, it won't be for air because he's a loach. It's a fish. Which is interesting. So, the way to catch him is either when he's over by the lily pads, which he was at, I assume he was at the start, because that's where he spawned. I guess I scared him into the deep end. He will go through cycles, so he lurks at the very bottom, and then every 75 seconds he'll swim slowly up to the top, which is just what I'm waiting for here, and then sink back to the bottom. And you can't catch him during this period of time when he's doing this, when he's in the deep water, or even when he's going up to the top. You can't catch him. He'll just not pay attention to your rod. So I'm just going to show him floating up to the surface. And he does this through a cycle. It's like, I think it's 7 times he'll do this before he heads back over to the lily pads, where he becomes able to be caught again. So if you'll forgive all of the cuts this episode, I just, it's already been quite long. And the splashing's happened. Which, this happens at dusk and dawn. These tiny fish appear, which sends all of the other fish, but not the loach, into a feeding frenzy, and they kind of go a bit crazy, which is interesting. That's the thing, it is a very deep minigame. There's a lot of depth, no water pun intended there, for the fishing, and I guess some people do find it relaxing. I'm just not one of them, so it's been a little while. Maybe it takes longer the first time before he surfaces. I just want to show this off once, him going to the surface. And then I will throw in a cut for when he's back over at the lily pads, and then we can have an actual go at catching this, and finally close the book on this fishing game. Yeah, because we'll have got everything there. Because this is completely optional. Ah, here we go. So you see there, he goes very slowly up to the surface, and yeah, even if I was adjusting the rod or trying to bait him, it won't work. So I'll see you in a second. So, okay, he's back over here. He's somewhere under these lily pads. I don't want to catch this other fish. You see there, he's there on the right. Come on, come on. Okay, right. Here we go. This is the one. Please don't get up. So I'm just going to hold down. I'm going to try and do the angle thing, but he seems pretty frantic, this thing. I'm very close to the shore, so hopefully we don't have to do... Because I don't know if it'd go back to the depths, which would be awful. That'd be another, quarter of an hour. Come on. So close. Yes! Oh, wow. Okay. Gosh, that's a strange fish you caught there. On top of that, it weighs 32 pounds. Wow, look at that. What do you want to do with it? We'll keep it. Oh, okay. Right. Everything's done in the fishing pond. We've caught the fish, we've got the golden scale, we showed off the lure, and we got the Hylian Loach. Thank Hylia. We're done. So I'm going to hand the Loach in, because you get a little bit of extra dialogue, and yeah, we'll see why it wouldn't have counted, because even though that was a very big fish, we'll see. What do you want? Weigh my fish? Well, well. Wow, what a rare fish. This is a Hyrule Loach. For this fish, size doesn't matter. I'll give you this prize. And we get 50 rupees for it. Recently, the number of these fish has decreased tremendously, so I'm going to release this one. And so he puts it back in the pond, and that's it, and we can quit. Yeah, the 50 rupees is cool, but does nothing to recoup our costs that we've spent here. But yeah, finally, the fishing pond is done. Let's hand in our rod. That's our fish. Okay, yeah, there you go. £20, that's the one we caught before. Let's hand in our rod, and finally we can leave this place and move on. And I guess continue with... Oh, that's a Scarecrow's song spot. I forgot about that one. So that's so you can reach the fishing hole even when Lake Hylia's drains before you finish the water temple. And here he is. There's his buddy. But yeah, now we can finally do everything that I'd planned for this episode. I feel... I don't know, I've lost track of time. I feel I've lost all my bearings. I felt, you know, I was in there for a long time. It was some sort of fishing purgatory that finally I've broken free of. So now we can do what I actually needed the golden scale for, which is in here. So, in the lakeside laboratory, I'm just going to talk to him. I have talked to him in the adult timeline, of course I have. Researching the process of making medicine by mixing Lake Hylia's water with various unusual compounds. Perhaps you've met the old Loach. Yeah, we have done this before. But the things we needed the scale for is this. There's a diving game. So you see, I didn't mean to do that. You see on the side there's like a ruler, I guess, to mark depth, and we need to swim as deep as possible. So we can actually swim all the way to the bottom now we've got the golden scale and grab that red rupee. And when we surface, we can speak to our good friend. You may not have noticed, but I've been watching you. You touched the bottom just now. Fantastic. I'll give this to you. And it was all worth it. 28 heart pieces and a new heart container, which is awesome. But also, we can go down to the bottom with the iron boots. This doesn't count for the diving challenge. So if we'd done this before... Maybe should I put the... No, we've got 2 minutes, we're all good. This doesn't count, so if we went up now, he wouldn't give us a piece of heart for this, because I guess we're cheating with the iron boots rather than diving. But if we head down here, we can find another Skulltula down here. So there's two secrets in here. Only one of which we needed to do that awful fishing game for, but there we go. Which is number 76. And of course, while we're down here, we need to say hi to our good friend, the shark. So we'll take off our boots. So, yeah, like I said at the very beginning, with the water temple completed, we only have 2 dungeons left, not counting Ganon's castle, which I suppose is kind of a dungeon. So, gonna head out. We'll get our trusty steed, because yeah, like I was saying, we've got 2 more dungeons. And we have a bit of story. We can advance the story. Where are you? If we head to Kakariko Village, where there's one of the coolest cutscenes in Ocarina of Time, you know, that will take place when we enter Kakariko Village. There's also some various other things. So the reason I'm riding over on Epona right now is because we've got some ghosts to hunt. So throughout Hyrule Field, instead of Stal children, in the adult timeline, there are big Poes. And of course, in the guardhouse, a pretty nefarious fellow has taken up residence there, who is the Poe Collector. So by shooting Poes, and I think one spawns if we go close to this tree, yeah. So there's certain spawn points where these guys appear. So these are big Poes. These are different to just the regular Poes you get. What do you want, Navi? Let's look for someone. Thank you. These are different to the regular Poes. I think you just walk into these. You defeated Poe the Ghost. Do you want to catch it in a bottle? Yes. You caught a big Poe. Sell it at the ghost shop for lots of money. So I'm actually going to get rid of these two right now. Yeah, I'm going to let these fairies go. Because we want to fill up all of our bottles with as many Poes as we can. And we need to take 10 of them back to the Po Collector, who'll reward us with the game's final bottle. So it is important to do. It is part of 100%ing the game. Come on, Epona. And these spawn day and night, but they're only here in the adult timeline, which is interesting. And, you know, the mystery of the disappearance of the Stal children is interesting by itself. Because, you know, they infest Hyrule Field at night. And then when you're an adult, they're gone, but Poes take their place. Which is very interesting, because it's just a different type of lingering dead. There's another one somewhere around here. Is it near this tree? They all have very specific little spawn points that you need to ride through on Epona. Maybe it's this tree. I know there's one very close to a tree. Or maybe it's one of these bushes. Is it this one? Ah, there you go. So that's probably gone away. But it's not the end of the world, because you can, if you just stand on their spawn point and wait, they spawn in front of Epona pretty quickly. So there you go. Oh, well. Maybe because the water was there, he despawned. But yeah, you can kind of just do this, which makes it a lot easier to hunt them. But given what we know about Poes, you know, the Composer brothers that we saw in Kakariko Village in the graveyard were Poes. That was just bad archery on my part. They're the lingering souls of the dead, and they're racked with regret and guilt. So the fact that these 10 new spirits have appeared in Hyrule Field now, post-Ganondorf, is interesting in itself, you know, because perhaps these are people who died during Ganondorf's takeover of Hyrule. But then, you know, they're trying to catch the bottle, yes. But then, you know, it makes it even more mysterious why the Stal children have despawned, why they no longer appear in this Hyrule. Because you'd think if they are, if they are also the deceased skeletons, I guess, of the dead, perhaps people who died during the Hyrulean Civil War before this game, then they'd still appear now, you'd think. They wouldn't despawn just because the King of Evil is reigning over Hyrule. If anything, you'd think there'd be more stuff spawning. But there's another one here at this fork in the road. I'm actually going to wait for... Yeah, that's going to get away from me. I'm not sure what my arrow count is. I'll check in a second, but perhaps I'll have to... Well, I was going to go to Kakariko Village anyway to progress the story, so I can do that and replenish my arrows at the bazaar, perhaps. No! Ah, I wasted it. Okay, well, you sit tight, Epona. I'm going to go sell the 2 Poes I've got, and then we'll head to Kakariko. We'll get a full quiver, and we'll come back for more Poe hunting. So across the broken bridge. And I think we did say hi to the ghost, to the Poe Collector previously. But yeah, still very interesting. You see, because like the purple and the white, and obviously the mark of the Triforce above all, are very reminiscent of the Hyrulean royal family. It looks like, I can imagine these being the same clothes he had as a guard, but just kind of changed and tattered and turned into this cloak now. Also interesting that he appears to drink. I don't think... That doesn't look like enough pixels for that to translate into anything worthwhile. But yeah, maybe he's not just a Poe Collector, but an alcoholic Poe Collector. But if we stand near him and show him big Poes... Oh, you brought a Poe today. Very interesting. This is a big Poe. I'll buy it for 50 rupees. On top of that, I'll put 100 points on your card. If you earn 1,000 points, you'll be a happy man. So yeah, 100 points for each big Poe, 1,000 points for us to be a happy man. Whatever that means. Means 10 big Poes to hunt around Hyrule Field. And you can see up above him on this... I was about to say in the cages, but they're not. They're floating around. Our Poe spirits. Some happy, some sad. Oh, now they're in the cage. Weird. That was very strange, because I've always thought, yeah, they are in the cages, and then... Well, maybe when you walk away, do they come out of the cages? It's really strange. I don't think I've ever spent this long looking at the Poe spirits there above the Poe Collector, but yeah, really interesting character. Because obviously in the past, the guard that was standing where he is standing He said something along the lines of, I wish there was more troubles in the world, and also, I'm really interested in ghosts, but don't tell anyone. And now he, yes, just taunting me because I can't get you because I've got no arrows. And now he buys big Poes, apparently to keep them in cages. Or we don't really know what he does with the Poes, but considering they are kind of coalesced malice and lingering regret, I don't know, but perhaps he uses them to empower himself, or who knows, maybe he's just a bit like Kilton in Breath of the Wild, just someone who's genuinely in it for the love of the game, just fascinated. But when we head into Kakariko Village, the old home of the Sheikah, we'll see that things aren't as they were last time. Kakariko Village is aflame. Well, thankfully it seems to only be... Is it only the Skulltula house? Because that's not too bad if it is. Oh no, Impa's house is... Okay, Impa's house is on fire as well. That is bad. I was going to say, if it's just the Skulltula, maybe we can leave it. But Sheik is standing by the well. The well where a house was once built of a man that could see the truth. Get back, Link! Something dark escapes the well and slithers over the houses and the hills of the old home of the Sheikah. A shadow. It lunges at Link. Who is knocked unconscious. Looks like you're coming around. Link, a terrible thing has happened. The evil shadow spirit has been released. Impa, the leader of Kakariko Village, had sealed the evil shadow spirit in the bottom of the well. But the force of the evil spirit got so strong, the seal of the well broke, and it escaped into the world. I believe Impa has gone to the Shadow Temple to seal it again, but she will be in danger without any help. Link, Impa is one of the 6 sages. Destroy the evil shadow spirit and save Impa. There is an entrance to the Shadow Temple beneath the graveyard behind this village. The only thing I can do for you is to teach you the melody that will lead you to the Shadow Temple. This is the melody that will draw you into the infinite darkness that absorbs even time. Listen to this, the Nocturne of Shadow. And we learn our next dungeon warp song. One of my favourites, this one. It just sounds so dark, so foreboding, so fitting for the Shadow Temple. And this is, of course, one of Ocarina of Time's most iconic dungeons. One of the darkest, bloodiest places in any Zelda game, where we learn the truth of the history of the royal family and of the Civil War. You've learned the Nocturne of Shadow. Let me take care of the village. I'm counting on you, Link. And she's gone. Luckily, rain now pours from the sky, and the flames have been extinguished. Kakariko Village is as it was. I don't believe that any of the characters have different dialogue. A long time ago, another way. Which is a shame, because, like in Castletown, when Ganondorf rides through in pursuit of Zelda and Impa, all the characters react to it, and you'd think they would here too, where, the well has just exploded with the dark spirit of something. don't know why. That's just very ominous. What do you say? I don't even recognise this guy. The windmill draws water up from the depth of the well. Now the well is dried up, though. Okay, so it is a hint on the solution to this. Because, yeah, Bongo Bongo, the evil spirit, escaped from the well. Which, if we can head down as adult Link. I mean, we could have always head down. This isn't something that's only happened since the cutscene with Sheik. But the way is shut. A cave-in or a pile of rubble blocks us from entering the bottom of the well itself and uncovering the secrets that lie beneath Kakariko Village. At least as adult Link. So, in this era, of course, yeah, the well is blocked. And in the child era, the well is flooded. But, like that man said, that creepy man staring at us in the rain, the well is connected to the windmill. So it's worth remembering who we met in the well as adult Link and child Link, what he was talking about with a particular song. But before we do that, I'm going to replenish my arrows, I think, just so we can finish the Poe collecting minigame. And then finally, it's time to return to the past. A link to the past. No, I'm good. That'll fill up our current max quiver of 40, because we haven't yet got the final quiver upgrade, which is from the Gerudo Desert, which is something I'm still debating on. With this playthrough being kind of a narrative playthrough, I'm trying to do everything in the quote-unquote intended order. But it's something I still haven't settled on what I'm going to do, and I need to choose pretty quickly because it's getting to that moment. Is whether I do some of the Gerudo stuff before the Shadow Temple, namely the Gerudo training grounds. And the reason I want to do those first, perhaps, is the reward you get from them, the ice arrows, actually has a really cool interaction with the boss of the Shadow Temple that I'd like to show off. But I don't know, because it kind of breaks the flow of the story if I head to Gerudo before. So I'm a little bit undecided on that. So there's one here. This one's annoying, but again, if we just park up Epona, get our bow out, and it always spawns right in front of Epona's head, so you can kind of know where it's going to appear. Come on. No! Am I technically plunging these into the back of Epona's skull? I hope not. Sorry, old girl. Okay. Maybe I did... I'm losing a lot of arrows. I've already used 19 arrows. No, I was only on 40, wasn't I? I've used 9. Okay, is that the right spot? You need to be on in its spawning zone, and then it doesn't matter if you don't need to be moving or anything. You just need to be. Yeah, I guess I do need to come back. How do I? Can I not fire this arrow? No. Come on, you gonna spawn? This one is a pain. Maybe this one would be better to be on the move. Come on, Epona. There's me saying I love the horse controls in this, and for the most part I do. Okay, you spawned that way. Still doesn't give me too long. I need to be pinpoint accurate, which I'm not. I'm not pinpoint accurate, so let's have another go. Okay, so as soon as it appears I need to hit it, because then it'll kind of stun. 1 and 2. Yes, there we go. Oh, and I've accidentally loosed another one. Brilliant. Okay, that's probably the most difficult of the Poe spirits to get. Oh, now it's... Water is... water? Now its soul is sinking. You defeated Poe the Ghost. You want to catch it in a bottle? Yes. So I guess... I don't know. I'm going to do this Poe thing. Come on. Let's not... Don't... Yeah, what are you doing to your old pal Epona? Big Goron swording her. It's not very nice. Let's go get the one by the gates of Castletown that I didn't have arrows for. And while we do this, I'm going to come up with a plan on whether or not I go to Gerudo first, because I do want the ice arrows. I really do want to show that off because it is very cool. But given that this is the whole point of this, although I am doing an 100% run, the whole point of this is I'm doing it in the intended order, as if this is the true story of the hero of time, you know, like kind of trying to do Ocarina of Time as it, I suppose, like as it's meant to be played is a bit, I don't know, it doesn't sound the best sort of thing, because my gameplay is definitely not how it's meant to be played. Am I in the wrong spots? Very slightly. There's got to be a way to do I kind of pause maybe? Okay. But then, yeah, okay. Maybe once you've knocked it, you can't unknock it. Where's the spawn point? There, okay. So, right, it'll spawn again if I just wait here. So, yeah, no, you know, going to Gerudo, because I have to do the Thieves' Hideout before the Gerudo training grounds. You need the pass to get in there. And that's something I really want to do just before the Shadow Temple, you know. So, I don't know. I'm leaning more towards I'm not going to get the Ice Arrows before the Shadow Temple. So it's a shame that I won't be able to show off that one interaction. Maybe I'll pull up, you know, play a video on screen or something at some point, because I did do that in, well, we did that in our Zeldudes playthrough of Ocarina of Time, which we did last year. So, you know, I do have footage of doing it, or I suppose Luke was playing at the time, but still. That's probably what I'm going to do, because I want to, because after this episode, well, after I do the pose, I want to change to the past, and then I want to begin the next episode with the bottom of the well. So, yeah, I don't think it makes sense to go all the way to Gerudo, and then I can just, after the Shadow Temple, I can just do the whole Gerudo thing and the Spirit Temple as like a, you know, proper narrative sequence like I've done the rest of the game. I think that makes the most sense. So there's one that spawns here, somewhere near this bush. Come on, Epona. It's definitely somewhere around here. Don't you troll me. I haven't... Or did I do this one? I actually can't remember. I've already forgotten. I'm going to say I did do that one, because I had... Yeah, no, of course I did, because I did the one near Gerudo. I did that one. And then I failed at the one by Castletown. Yeah, because I didn't have the arrows. Of course I've done that one. Okay, so there's another one on this raised ledge over here. Very close to the other one, which was just on my right. But one spawns somewhere around here. Is it here? No, it's one of these, like, edges. It's either here or it's all the way... Okay, it's got to be all the way up here then, doesn't it? Somewhere around here. I'm sure there's one here. I'm so sure there's one here. I thought it was right on the edge, like the fence on the edge. See, I'm pretty sure you can sometimes spawn it from below. Or maybe you do spawn it from below. Maybe I... Although it didn't spawn when I rode through past Gerudo, the first pass. Let's have another go. Let's ride through. If it doesn't spawn, I know at least, you know, the locations of another like 4 or 5 for sure. How many bottles have I got? So I've got 2 in bottles. I've already handed in 2. So I've done 4. Yeah, weird. Okay. Yeah, I'll come back to that one. But for now, let's go to the forest, because there's a forest all the way over this side of Kakariko Village, of Hyrule Field, which definitely has 2 for certain. So I know there's one that spawns somewhere near this patch of grass. There you go. 1, 2, very nice. Oh, and then I suppose I don't even have a bottle for the other one, so we'll have to come back to this forest. So grab that. You defeat the Polar Ghost, capture in a bottle, yep. So yeah, in terms of other things to do this episode, because again, this has been a little bit of a roundup episode, like the one that I did just before 7 years later, the one where I pulled the Master Sword and became Adult Link. This has been another episode where it's just kind of side questioning, just getting done the things I need to get done if I'm going to be 100%ing this game. So I'll do this, I'll do all of this, then I will visit the Temple of Time and see what happens within. Then there's a couple of other Child Link things to do. On Zora's River, there's a couple of things. We've got an appointment with some frogs. But then, yeah, there's not a huge amount to do, and we can hopefully end the episode ready for Bottom of the Well and the Shadow Temple as like a back-to-back next episode. So we'll sell... Oops. Forgot you need to have them all on C. So we'll sell another 3, giving us That'll be 500 points in total, which is quite nice. I think there's a couple more sculptures that we can... Wait, how are we on? What's card? Oh, he doesn't tell us his total. Okay, that's fine. So that will... I did do 2 previously. Cool, so we're halfway done with those. Also, I will actually, while we're in Castletown, because I forgot to do this since getting the hook shot, there's another sculpture that we can get over towards Ganon's castle. So we'll make a very brisk run through the spooky market and avoid the Redeads and their haunting screams, blood-curdling shrieks, and back out towards Ganon's castle. Over on the ruins of the gatehouse, where we bribed that guard to go through, there's a sculpture. I can't remember if this might be one that's only here at night. I assume so because it's outside. Let's have a look. Oh, it's scuttling now. Maybe it is night. I've lost my track of time. It's hard to know day from night when you're in the shadow of a giant evil tower of doom and dominion, with the sky burned black with evil magic and clouds and what have you. Yeah, it's difficult to get a good concept of time. There's a pretty spooky skull there. So yeah, let's do these 5 more ghosts. I'm going to go back towards Gerudo. The Gerudo one that maybe... I'm starting to think it wasn't on the high ledge. And I know you can get it just... because I'm sure I've triggered it just by riding through that passageway towards Gerudo. So perhaps it's kind of... you've got to be a little bit tighter going through there, and I must have just gone through and missed the spawn point. But yeah, we've got 5 more to go, and annoyingly only 3 bottles, so 2 trips to the Po Collector to do that. So there's definitely one over here as well by Lon Lon Ranch that I don't believe I've done. So one spawns now. Do you spawn here? Yeah, I'm not sure where you spawned, but the spawn point is definitely near this tree, so if I just wait here... You gonna spawn? Missed all of those. That was a terrible marksmanship from me. Hopefully I don't have to replenish arrows. Well, hopefully if I do, I can just get it from like long grass around Hyrule Field or whatever, and I don't have to go all the way to Kakariko. That'd be nice. Speaking of Lon Lon Ranch, actually, no, I'll save that for later. There's another challenge we can do in Lon Lon Ranch, just like how we won Epona with that horse race. We can return there later on for another horse race. And if you win that, you get one of the most bizarre rewards in all of Zelda. There's one that spawns here as well. I can't remember if it's this side or the other side. Let's have a look. Is it here? It is, but it spawned all the way down there. But that's fine, so I can just... When Epona stops, I'll just angle myself this way and get my bow out. Yeah, there's one of the most bizarre rewards in the whole Zelda series if we do that. So I'll do that, but, you know, I can save that for later. No! Okay, well, I don't want to... I dread to see my arrow count. Surely it's low now. I feel bad for Epona. The back of her head is not doing very well this episode. Getting absolutely peppered with arrows. Alright, so 1. No. 1. Nice. Okay, what am I on? 6. Well, hopefully that's enough for at least 1 more, because we've already got 1 in a bottle. So I'll go and try and do the Gerudo one now, or... Actually, I suppose there's one quite close on the path. So we'll get off Epona, do that. I'm trying to think where else is good to get arrows. Surely it doesn't make sense to keep going to the bazaar in Kakariko, but I can't off the top of my head think of a better way to do it, other than going around and smashing pots and cutting grass and hoping we get the right drops. I'm not too sure. Hopefully, well, let's at least get this one, because there's definitely one that spawns here. Somewhere. Come on. Unless I've got this one. I don't think so. Somewhere around here. Ah, there we go. So I hadn't got it. I'll just wait for you to come back. Ah, so we get my favourite bit of the Hyrule Field theme as well. Just lovely. No! I'm not gonna... Yeah. So I need to wait a second, because when they spawn, they're invincible. I've got 5 arrows. Okay. And it seems the way to do it is you wait for them to spawn, loose an arrow, and then they're stunned, so you can hit them once. That was too quick. No! Well, that was 3, and I've only got one left. Okay, no arrows now. Let's go back. I'm going to drop those at the Poe Collector. Do I do that? Let's see. If I get some arrows from here, I'll give it another go. They were all... Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go to the Poe Collector. I'm going to drop those off. And then I'm going to go to Kakariko, replenish my arrows. And I'll be back here in a second. I'm going to cut that because that's a bit nothingy for you to watch. Okay, I'm back with empty bottles and all the Poes in the world. I wish all the arrows in the world. So come on, you gonna spawn for me? This one is a difficult spawn spot. It's pretty finicky. Okay, it spawns there. Come on. Alright, sorry opponent, just 3 more. Hello? Ah, there you go. That was how it's done. So it's about that little wait, then you can just hit them twice in quick succession. Nice. So there's one more in the forest, and that strange one that I'm sure is over by Gerudo. Just maybe it's not up on that raised ledge. I think it must be down by the path. Okay, awesome. Happens quite a lot. I think what happens is I get on the horse and my brain immediately goes to Breath of the Wild mode. You know, you press A to kind of spur the horse on. Whereas in this game you have to hold forward. So I've done the one that spawned over here. There's another one. Is it by this rock? It's one of these trees or one of these rocks. Another one spawns. Oh, okay, it was there. So I'm going to hover by this tree and hope it comes back. Are you going slowly forward, opponent? What are you doing? Okay. It's alright. Yeah, I can't say a bad word about opponent. She's been a great sport this episode, considering I've been shooting her in the head with arrows non-stop. And she hasn't complained once. She's been so good. Okay. No! He moved very quickly there. Maybe this is one that's probably easier if I just ride past. So this technique that I'm doing where you kind of stand on the spot is one that I started doing, I think, because of the one near Kakariko, one playthrough. I remember just being infuriated that I couldn't get it by riding past because it was just spawning in the weird places or whatever. And I can't remember where I found out that you can do this. But then there are other times where it probably is easier to just do it as it's meant to be done. And this is probably one of them. So if I just ride past it spawning. Come on. Yeah, there we go. That was easier than doing my weird stop-start method. So we got that. So now it's just that one more. Yeah, so we got one. This is 1, 2, 3. And then we can finally get our 4th bottle, which is awesome. Then, yeah, let's visit the Temple of Time and grab those couple other little young Link things. There's 2 pieces of heart that we can get on the Zora River. And then it's time to head to Kakariko Village. So I'm sure it's going through this path. Maybe is it left or right? The spawn is. Okay, it's not that. I've done that. It's for sure around here. It must be over. Is it one of these areas? Is it here? No. Strange. Okay, I must have just kind of threaded the needle to avoid this. Is it here? Ah! Okay, right, it does exist. So it was kind of here-ish. Let's try that. Let's do our little technique again. If I'm on the right spot, that is. Okay, I am. Nice. Alright, that's... Well, that's a slightly difficult spot, because if it hits a wall, I think it despawns. Here, this should be good. If I can get the timing right, this will be alright. Oh! That was so close. That was fine. It's a skill issue on my part, this is. So, we need to spawn. Wait, like, half a second. Arrow. Arrow. Oh! Oh, this one's difficult. How many arrows am I on? 19. Alright, I'm going to have one more go at this standing still method. If this doesn't work, because I know the exact spot now, I can just ride slowly through and try and do it the proper way. So, 1 arrow, 2 arrow. Okay, yeah. It goes slightly to the left, that one. Weird. I'm just going to ride through. Let's go up to Gerudo. We'll turn round and we'll do a little strafing run. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to keep Epona relatively slow. We spawn the ghost. Oh, it doesn't spawn. This one's not playing ball with us, or playing let me shoot you in the face game with us. And it goes up there. Oh, right, okay, that was a difficult one. But we got it. That's our 10th Po. We're done with that little mini-game. We'll head back to the Po Collector. And I'm excited for this, because this is something I haven't done yet. Visit the Temple of Time. And finally, revert Hyrule to as it was. Which is so cool. You know, this is a... I've always said that all Zelda games, or so many Zelda games, work on a two worlds mechanic or system. So, you know, obviously that began with well, I guess technically Zelda 1 we had the overworld and the underworld, but not really in the way I'm talking about. I'm talking more about A Link to the Past's Light World and Dark World, or Twilight Princess, you know, the Light World and the Twilight Realm. Tears of the Kingdom has the Depths, which are like a mirror of Hyrule. But I think Ocarina of Time does the Dark World like idea better than any other game in the series, where it's past and future, like a bright future and a dark past. It's just so well done, and I can't wait. Because especially now we've spent so long, we've spent so many episodes here in the dark, Ganondorf-dominated future, and then after that, we can finally revert everything back to how it was as a child, which is going to hit so hard. Right, that's our last Po. Okay, you brought a Po today. Very interesting. This is a big Po. I'll buy 50 rupees. On top of that, punch. Wait a minute. Wow! You've earned 1,000 points. Young man, you are a genuine ghost hunter. Is that what you expected me to say? Because of you, I have extra inventory of big Poes, so this will be the last time I can buy a ghost. You're thinking about what I promised would happen when you earned 1,000 points. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Just take this. And we get empty bottle number 4. Did you change dialogue or not? What's happening? No. Come back again. But yeah, we've got 4 big bottles. Big bottles? 4 empty bottles now, which is really cool. And that's obviously all there is space for in this game. But yeah, we're nearly there. Only a couple more items to fill in our item subscreen, and then we'll have the full deck. But now, one more time, run past the spooky things. Worth kind of taking a little mental picture of this barren hellscape, haunted by the souls of the dead. Worth taking a little mental picture of that, because now we step up into the Temple of Time, past the Gossip Stones, and again, once more, into these sacred halls, where Ganon's malevolent influence is not touched, and this place remains pristine, even in this dark future. As we walk through here, we find Sheik. You destroyed the wicked creatures that haunted the temple and awakened the sage. But there are still other sages who need your help. In order to awaken all the other sages, you must become even more powerful. You must travel over mountains, underwater, and even through time. If you want to return to your original time, return the Master Sword to the pedestal of time. By doing this, you will travel back in time 7 years. The time will come when you will have to return here quickly. I will teach this to you for when that time comes. The song to return you to the Temple of Time, the Prelude of Light. I love the reverb on that as well in these ancient halls of the Temple of Time. Also, her dialogue there, or his dialogue there, was clearly intended for us to have only completed the Forest Temple by that point, considering We're told then about travelling over mountains and underwater, which we've already done by this point. But yeah, she would have blocked that. He would have blocked that until we returned here with the Forest Medallion. But we learned the Prelude of Light. As long as you hold the Ocarina of Time and the Master Sword, you hold time itself in your hands. Link, we shall meet again. And of course, a Deku Nut. And Sheik is gone. But Sheik was right. If we step up to the pedestal of time and place the Master Sword therein, we return to the past. We are a child once more. So we've returned back to before the moment when Ganondorf took the Triforce of Power for himself, before he broke into the Sacred Realm. So when we head out of the Temple of Time, we will find Hyrule as it was when we were a child. But it's almost like time's frozen in this moment now. Whereas this is... we can speak to people in Hyrule Castletown, which is... lovely. There you go. Think back to that mental picture you took of the Redeads. This is much more pleasant. Hustle and bustle. But yeah, if we talk to people, do you have any... yeah, something happened in the castle. Kid, you'd better be careful. So it's almost like time is frozen. We've returned back to the very moment just after Ganondorf chased Zelda and Impa out of Hyrule Castletown. Which is cool. I think like everyone will still have dialogue. I almost got kicked by that black horse. Which is really really fascinating that we return back here to this exact moment. But with all the knowledge of the future and a burning desire, of course, to avert that, to save Hyrule in 7 years' time. So, as I mentioned, we've got one or two things to do very quickly before we head over to Kakariko Village, which is where I'm going to end this episode. Preparing for the bottom of... I'm going to do the bottom of the well and the Shadow Temple in one episode, much like I did the Ice Cavern and the Water Temple last episode, just because I want to... if I'm doing like a narrative playthrough, I want to have one episode that I can kind of talk about everything to do with that part of the game, because it's so fascinating. In terms of the lore, it's probably the most interesting dungeon in terms of what it means for the history of Hyrule, and you know, a lot of dark acts that were performed by the royal family and the Sheikah. So I want to do those together. But out in Zora's River, before we do that, we've got a slightly more light-hearted thing to be dealing with. Also, I need to... should I be planting any more beans? I'm trying to think. Do I have any beans? I've got one bean. I'm trying to think of other ones that are essential. There's one by the Spirit Temple. I'll do the frogs while I think of that. One by the Spirit Temple that we definitely need to plant. I can't think of any... oh, actually no, near the Fire Temple as well I should probably plant one. I will. I'll buy a couple more beans in a second. Whoops. We need to get over there. I don't think this is the part of the river that washes us down. Yeah, can we climb up here? Let's not get tectited. How am I going to get... okay, I got tectited. Brilliant. Come here. Face me. Alright, maybe don't face me then. Maybe this is too much of a... okay, I'm used to the big Goron sword. Each of those hits, I was like, oh, you're definitely dead now. There you go, but of course it takes 4 as Child Link. But yeah, strangely, if we go over here, we find, if we step out on this log, some frogs are looking at you from underwater. This is really weird. If we take out our ocarina, these frogs appear. And they don't do anything until we start playing songs. So let's do Epona's song. You can hear them ribbit the notes of Epona's song. And one grows big. Young lad, you play the ocarina well. That melody is so fine, Ribbit. We should all practice it, Ribbit. Take rupees as a souvenir. If you come up with another nice melody, please drop by and play it. Ribbit, ribbit. And we get some rupees. Maybe... I was going to say maybe I should... I'm going to go buy some beans actually now. Because we will get rupees for doing more of these songs. Just so I can keep my my rupee stash nice and high. But yeah, there's 5 frogs. We need to play 5 Child Link songs to them. Each one grows the frog. Grows a different frog until we can... Okay, I need to go all the way around. Until we get the final one, Big, who will give us a piece of heart. So that's one of the pieces of heart we can get here. But then also, these same frogs, once you've done that, do a really difficult memory puzzle game where they will play notes by kind of each ribbiting different notes. And you have to, what's it called? You have to play songs alongside them. 60 rupees now. That's fine. I'll buy 2 more. Because as far as I can I can only think of 2 more essential ones at least. I can always come back here if I need any more. So that's fine. Ooh. Okay, right. I messed that up. I thought for some reason you could jump over the river, but obviously you can't. But back up we go. Yeah, which isn't my favourite. What's it called? The frog memory game is definitely not my favourite thing. I've been saying that a lot this episode, but you know, this is one where we just need to get this stuff done because it's all for pieces of heart and whatever. It's all important. And in terms of some of the bad pieces of heart of whatever in Zelda series, this really isn't that bad compared to some of them. But the point is, it's just interesting that both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask have these kind of choirs of musical frogs. I think I said when we were here in the past that I don't know what was going on at Nintendo. That apparently that was something that they felt they needed to include in these games. Let's pull out our Ocarina. So we did Epona's songs. Let's do Zelda's Lullaby. So only the Child Link songs work here. You can't play the dungeon songs, like the temple warp songs, sort of thing. They won't grow frogs. And the reason I didn't do it before is that we needed the Song of Storms here. So we get another purple rupees, which obviously I didn't have last time I was here, which I can do now. Nice. Which, yeah, is another one of those songs. So that'll be our 3rd frog, Big. Oh, there you go. Singing in the rain. Oh, what a feeling. Ribbit. It's not quite how I remember that going. Please take this as a token of our froggish gratitude, Ribbit. Alright, see you, Ribbit. Oh, we get a piece of heart for that. Interesting. I thought you had to do all of the songs for it. That's fascinating. So if I do, like the Sun song as well, what happens there? I really thought you had to do every song. Maybe it is just the Song of Storms for that. What happens here? Do you just pay me for this? Yeah, that grows that. We shall practice it. Take roots as a souvenir. Interesting. So, what else haven't I... Oh, I think I'd still need all of the songs to make them all big to do the next mini-game. But maybe, yeah, you just get the piece of heart from the Song of Storms. So what else? Song of Time. I haven't done that. Have I done Zelda's Lullaby? No, I haven't done Saria's song. Okay, I'll do that. Is that yellow or red? Red. Young lads play Ocarina of Time. Okay, another 50. And then we go... Saria's song, so... Okay, yeah. So that will grow the last frog. And then... Ooh, you'll see what I mean. This next minigame is a tricky one. Young lad... Okay, I don't know, I keep reading the same dialogue. Right. Another 50. So, now we whip out the Ocarina. Look at us, we're all huge frogs. We're the world-famous, fabulous 5 froggish tenors. Ribbit. Make us jump so we can eat the bugs flying above us. Ribbit. Okay, then ready, set, go. So, this corresponds to Ocarina notes, where the bugs are, so... Okay, right, well. Look at it, yeah. So, I think the blue is A... I don't think I've ever done that for the first time. Okay, I was in the zone there. I stopped focusing on what I was saying and just... I'm very happy with that. Okay. That's taken me a long time before. Wow. I really thought I misimitated on the last one as well, because I kind of pressed the C button halfway down and then panicked and pressed A instead. But wow, okay, I'm really happy with that, because that can be very annoying. But actually, also, there's one thing over here that I wanted to show off, just because, you know, this doesn't really do anything. Actually, tell a lie, this will do something. But this is just something that, you know, I think probably some of you will be aware of, but maybe not all of you. So these spots, obviously, you can get Skulltulas from them in the past. In the future, this will turn into a big bean sprout, and it's what we can use to ride up Zora's River. But also, when we have the Song of Storms, if we go near it, and since it's a plant, if we use the Song of Storms to rain here, to water the plant, it grows. Makes a little kind of beanstalk thing, and then because it's magic, it spawns some fairies. So yeah, that's why I got these bottles out. So that's cool, you know, just a little secret that you can do with them. Let's grab the other one. Nice. There you go, and we've got 2 fairies in bottles, so we shouldn't be dying anytime soon. Do we do a third? Why not? Why not? Otherwise he's just gonna go away. Now you get 3 fairies. Cool. Alright, well, with all that done, let's head to Kakariko Village. Well, that was a weird cuckoo shining in the evening light there. That was quite poetic, quite magical. But yeah, let's head over to Kakariko Village, where we're going to end this episode, because the next one is a big one. The next one, we delve into the dark history of Hyrule. And the Sheikah and the Roy... Ah, there you go. Speaking of Stealth Children, back here in the past. Yeah, we'll delve into the dark secrets of the Hyrulean Civil War in one of the most atmospheric places in the Zelda series, with the bottom of the well and the Shadow Temple, which are kind of 2 halves of the same dungeon, much like the Spirit Temple, as the dungeon you tackle in 2 halves, even though technically the bottom of the well is its own separate mini-dungeon, sort of, but I've always just kind of seen them as 2 halves of one whole. Of course, here's the Master Craftsman's son, who's still here in the child era, but no longer with us in the adult timeline, which is pretty sad. He's become a Stalfos in the Lost Woods. But now we're here, it's time for the second half. What does this say? Dark, narrow, scary, well of 3 features. It's time for the second half of this bootstrap paradox that I've kind of half explained when we learned the Song of Storms, which of course we learned from the man in the windmill, who claimed that 7 years ago a kid with an ocarina appeared, played the song, and messed up the windmill. And now, 7 years before that time, we're here as a kid with an ocarina coming back to the windmill. Of course, while he had that screwed up crazy expression in the future, he's pretty happy here. Go around and around and around. What fun! I'm so happy. I'm a music man who loves to go around and around. Go around and around. I'm trying to come up with a musical theme inspired by this windmill, going around and around and around. Well, we might be able to help you with that one. So we play the Song of Storms that he himself taught us, which, like the song, goes around and around in time with no origin. One of the cleanest and greatest examples of a bootstrap paradox. And this song, this impossible melody, causes the windmill to spin, which, like the man said, drains the well. So, what does he say now? Go around and around and around. What? It's going way too fast! And it is like a high-pitched version of the Song of Storms here, which is cool. But yeah, let's head out, where we'll find, of course, the well is empty. The water has been drained, allowing us to climb down, just like we did with Adult Link. But of course, while in the future timeline, the well is blocked with rubble. In the child era, 7 years earlier, the way is open. So, that's where I'm going to leave this episode. So join me next time as I delve into the bottom of the well and the Shadow Temple. If you've been enjoying these episodes, a like would be so appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more of these, and I'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.